All right, so let's watch Do-Hyun Lee here. This was his flash go. So hits the right hand, drops into the left. And this is the bit that I want to see. How does he get through this zone move?
So smooth.
Wow, yeah, just floating in.
This first boulder is a boulder that requires confidence, and we've just had a lesson in confidence right here. You know, he was executing those moves with perfection, but
on the wall, and Toby does do that. Do-Hyun Lee on your main screen. Toby falls on the left, and then Adam gets involved with the slab on boulder 3. Let's see what Do-Hyun can do here.
oh, so accurate, but maybe.
I like the
Toby,
we. I think you're right, because like, it's very hard not to feel everything they're going through, isn't it? Yeah, you get sucked into this thing.
I feel like I'm on the wall with them.
I know, it's, yeah. All right, Do-Hyun looks for this crimp. It's not good, remember that right crimp.
We saw him change his method there. He was squeezing with the feet instead of campus.
Toby getting closer on the jump.
Left hand firing. I think he is keeping his body too far left, which is why his hand's slipping on the left hand.
Massive lock-off strength from Do-Hyun there. Look at this.
Wow. Oh.
It's one of those boulders that
I think confidence can go both ways, but he's kind of really owning who he is and his style and just climbing with such confidence and certainty on the wall. It's incredible to see.
It really is, yeah.
We saw the foot there, so he adjusted his right foot.
Coming up towards the top, right. And I think Adam just did it. He did do it on boulder 4. Waves to the crowd. Do-Hyun Lee on your main screen is committing to this foot swap move. Side of the foot for him, and then finds the heel, changes it into a toe, and he's looking for this kick to the left.
Ooh, really close and wedged.
Good work from Adam.
Doing the exact beater that was intended for the first time this comp.
There we go. Thank you, Adam. Finally, he didn't get the memo.
I mean, he doesn't need to do the intended beat. He can do his own thing.
Yeah, he does.
But
well,
that was what was planned.
Adam's so good at that. I mean, if you watch outdoor climbing at all, you've watched any Adam Ondra videos, you'll know his moves. So cool to see it on plastic.
And interestingly, he's a much more experienced climber than other climbers on the mats at the minute. You know, he's a lot older, and you're seeing that in his style and how he's trying the movements.
That was great from Do-Hyun Lee. So same
Wasn't it?
method, but same kick, but different, way slower. No texture on this top. Makes the match. Good work from him.
Really, really great work from him. Seeing a lot of the younger climbers stick to the very basic method of trying to dangle and campus, which is what is intended. However, the more experienced.
That right foot is not very good, and Do-Hyun really struggling
Speaking
with
of
the
not very
no-tex.
good.
Yes.
That hold is terrible.
Yeah, and it's the first time we've really seen an athlete struggle and slide down that hold.
By terrible, I mean that it's terrible in that it's hard to hold on to. I actually think it's quite cool and quite fun. It's something that we haven't seen before, and it felt like a very... it was inevitable that we were going to see that as progression, and we've just seen a 1-2 to the top. Very fast, very, very strong in the shoulders to hold that.
Yeah, and that bumps him up into the top position, so good work from Do-Hyun Lee.
The 1-2 into the top hold. Really fun to see.
Well, I mean, you've done enough presentations in your time. What were you doing during this moment? Did you take it all in, or are you trying to stay focused in your own head?
I think the overwhelming sensation I had during presentation was pride to be there in both my...
All right, Do-Hyun Lee is on. And good starting holds here. They're pretty positive in cut. There's a big jump on that. I think it was 60, 65 degrees in that middle section he's on. Makes the match, adjusts his hands across.
Opting for a heel instead of a campus. I wondered whether he might find this move quite wide. Nikolai is
on the clock, and there's 2 scoring opportunities in a boulder competition. One is the zone, which is marked by that pink line with the zone written in a circle, and the next one is the top, which is at the top of the wall, which you have to match and control it. You can't just snatch for it. And he's trying the campus this time and makes it work.
Who needs feet?
Who needs feet? Exactly. If in doubt, campus it out. Right, so Do-Hyun is pressing up now, mantling through this section.
Little adjustment for the right hand there to make sure he got the height to get to that small hold. And then we were told the small hold is there just to help you edge up a bit higher, get up into that mantle position.
Oh, so close.
We saw fast feet there, but maybe a little bit too low. The feet, of course, we want to be really pushing through the feet on those really bad holds. Not kind of slipping around, but much easier said than done.
Yes, well, that's the joy of our job. I mean, you competed on this stage. I just get to talk about it, so you've experienced it. Dejan is matching again. I think he's going to go straight for the campus once more.
I expect so.
Makes it with ease, and now he starts this press upwards.
Clock's ticking down, but he should easily have enough time.
Yeah, I think Nikolai rested slightly too long here. Really had to rush through it. Dogan's got at least 23 seconds to make this count. Likely to be the last time, though.
Just using that little tiny jib to get a bit higher.
Top for Dogan Lee. It was all about that left foot kicking into the wall to stop the swing.
Really solid foot placement, a bit higher with the body.
Well, our first top of the evening, and we were expecting a few tops on boulder number 1. Dogan Lee gets it done and leaves with a little smile on his face back to the isolation.
The route setter actually said we expect maybe one person might not do this climb, so we'll see if they're right.
So, I mean, yeah, if a route setter's predictions come true, I will be amazed. Whenever a setter tells me anything, I take it with a slight pinch of salt, you know. So that was the move, the big left kick, and the right foot down low.
Yeah, I didn't spot that. So seeing that from bad those footholds really are.
They're awful, aren't they? All right, Dogan Lee, let's see what you can do. Second athlete out on boulder 2.
Really looking focused there. He's got a great picture on his profile.
Yeah, big smile on his face.
Yeah, really smug. It looks great.
Yeah.
Opting to go for the top of the volume that's straight up there, the big round one. He wasn't pressing. I think he'll need to press to get the weight through the feet. Hips in, shoulders up, nice and open.
All right, here he goes again. Will he use the same tactic? No, the press, much
better. You can see his hips are straight into the wall, arching his back and getting all his weight through his feet. Something he's going to need to keep doing along this boulder, keeping that weight through the feet. It's
an interesting one because it starts off so quickly with that big, powerful movement, and you have to slow things right down for this
real
section.
Change of pace. And then potentially speed up on the way to the arete too.
Yeah, and you could see him taking a breath, just calming himself down here as he starts this foot sequence.
So what he's doing here, raising the leg, he's trying to get his weight over. So you can see his hips are still above his foot. If he can keep moving his hips and udging them to the right, he'll be able to get his foot down like he just has here. So he was using his leg almost as a counterbalance to move himself rightwards there.
Well, he finds the arete and the jib on it. So one move further than Nikolai did. No more points, of course, because the zone hold is back towards the beginning.
So he's going to be doing some really tension footwork here, is what I was about to say.
Oh. And now he's got to reach around the arete again.
And the setter said you want to end up with your right foot there, which is what he's just managed to figure out.
So good work. He's got to match this final hold, though. 2 hands touching it somehow, in control, and that will be a top for Dogan Lee. Bumping him up into the first spot. Provisionally, some athletes to come, of course. And yeah, that was fascinating. You had his head in his hands.
You know, you could see it did not look easy. He didn't look comfortable. He was having to figure it out as he was on the wall.
For him, because he knows it's there if he can get across that run.
For sure, but having spoken to the route setter, apparently it's not over.
Nope.
So you do that move, and then in Hachioji, they had a very simple finish. Here, this is definitely stepped up. It's spicier. They are going to have to really fight right until the very end on this one.
Yeah, as it should be for a world champs. This event, of course, taking place every 2 years. Next year, there's a small amount of the Olympics taking place instead, another big event. And that's what the athletes are trying to get tickets for. Some of them are trying to get tickets for here. Right, let's watch again. And again, this run and jump and press sequence.
Whilst talking about the Olympics and this event being part of that selection process, this event is one of 2 events that these athletes will do. The ones hoping to get to the games, those who are and who are competing combined here, they will have done lead qualification yesterday, which is going to be taking its toll, I imagine, but Not for this guy.
No, he's in, and now he gets to do the press move. Maybe a bit too...
To work too.
Yeah, he's figuring it out. A bit at a time. 2.5 minutes on the clock.
One, you know, it looks almost like you could jump to the purple, have a little stop there. You cannot. You have to go really quickly through this start. It's really well forced. It was great to see Nikolai work his own beater out, because it did look like he didn't know to go with two hands to the black volume like Do-hyun did on his first attempt. I hope he manages to figure it out again. I feel like he needs to have a little moment to compose.
Yeah, and he has got the time, 1:45, so maybe this is where he needs to just slow things down.
Or speed things up.
Let's speed things up, and he remembers or redoes that move, and now he faces into the wall. So first time we get to see someone attempt this way of doing it.
I asked the route setter, is it possible to face in? And they think it's impossible. Their words, not mine. From looking at it, I would be inclined to agree. It's incredibly steep in that section of wall. I think facing out, even if it is possible to face in, facing out's going to be easier, right? So I do hope we see him try that on the next attempt and get those legs involved, really push him up.
When the setter said that to you, there was a flash in your eyes that I thought was you going, I reckon I could maybe give it a go.
No, I just don't reckon you should ever say anything's impossible with these athletes.
Well, he's going to try it again here, so obviously he thinks this might be the way. Oh, my shoulders are hurting watching this, so he's watched the drive up with the legs.
And not far off, hence
potentially possible.
My look of, I think someone could do that.
I guess the angle of the wall pushes you backwards a bit as well. Misses it that time.
Opting to chalk up with only 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, he's going to have to be quick. He needs to get this done now. 27 seconds, and he turns almost a little bit.
Yeah, so you can see he's really turning his shoulders so he can get the weight into that black volume, two hands over.
Faces out towards the audience.
Oh, the crowd have told him what he needs to do. He should be hearing that. He needs to bend the legs, get some weight.
And he does drive up much
Pushing
better.
Up. Yes.
Oh, slips on the zone hold. He won't be awarded it yet.
Should be awarded now. His foot's moved. We'll see whether he will be awarded it. He did move his foot when he was on it, so it'd be interesting to see if he gets that. In order to do that, he let go of the black volume so he could kind of come down a little bit more and then push up a lot higher.
Yeah, and he got so much more drive, didn't he,
with that? Much more drive, much more height. And I'm sure his shoulders and his triceps will be thanking him.
Yeah, and this was the zone hold. So is that why? Because the pour in the water thing, because usually obviously in climbing we're chalking up, we're avoiding moisture. Why does having moisture in your hands help a hold like that?
So you want them to feel almost like sticky, like tacky, which is the opposite of what chalk does. So we've just seen Do-hyun Lee spray what I think was rhino skin spit. So obviously we can't spit on our hands, but we can use a product called spit. We spray it on our hands, rub it together, and then it gives that tacky feeling. I absolutely love it. I have really dry skin. I've actually seen Adam Ondra using a wet towel previously in comps because he also has dry skin, so you'll see him sometimes with a towel where he dabs his fingers on. Yannick opted for pouring water on his hands. But yeah, not chalking up before going on a boulder is going to be very strange for these athletes.
Well, I asked about brushing as well, because I wanted to know, do you brush these holds? Do you not brush these holds? Is it good with chalk? Is it bad with chalk? Everyone's figuring it out.
These athletes actually saw these holds in isolation. Very kindly of the route setters, they popped some on the warm-up wall as I assume a hint that something was coming. So I imagine they'll have been testing out different methods here to see what works, what feels good.
It's strange in climbing, isn't it, that you have something completely different, and that is the great thing with using these holds, is, you can have different movements, you can have different stuff, but having a whole different hold type changes everything, changes the whole approach.
Strange, exactly, but also rare. We don't see something new very often. I think the season's been kind of a really crucial season, and seeing new moves, new holds, new ideas.
Yeah, let us know at home if you're watching what you think of these holds.
Do-hyun there, you see he's hitting the first one, which is a good hold. Coming into match, hitting the second one. We don't think you can stick that second one. Potentially you could stick the third hold and hold it, but you really want to be going 1, 2, 3 if you can to the zone hold. That's the best one. That's the one where you can be comfortable and kind of relax and chalk up. Get that chalk back on your hands.
Yeah, he's looking down at his hands there, trying to figure out what's going on.
Just showing how impressive Nikolai's top was there. I think when the first person of the round comes out, makes it look easy, you can often kind of get a bit worried that maybe the boulder's not set at the right level. But all of these athletes have different strengths and weaknesses. They are all very, very capable, and we're seeing different athletes succeed on different styles.
I love the sound of that paddle noise.
The tap, tap, tap.
Yeah. I can't believe I just clicked in the commentary box. I've never done that before, I promise. So 1:25 to get this done.
So we're seeing the 1-2 there. If he's able to get the third pull through, it looks like he's not managing to get enough through the hands at the minute, so not able to bend those arms and really reach to the zone hold. Potentially he can stop on the second.
Not getting close at the moment, and that's a minute gone. Yeah, you're right about Nikolai's strength. I mean, yeah, that contact strength to hit those holds and stick them.
You can almost not see them then.
I was worried about that, honestly. I thought they wouldn't show up on camera. There's a bit of a sparkle in a few of them, and it looks like there is a texture, because I went and touched it, because it looks like ripply on the top, but there's nothing there. Not quite sure what to do here. He's looking out. I mean, he knows exactly what to do. It's just making it work.
And you've answered your question about brushing has been answered, because it's not been brushed.
No, it's been touched
by the athletes.
I want that brushing job. That black hold, the starting hold as well, that's also no texture, despite not being clear.
And the finishing foot too.
Yeah, everything. It's not going to work.
Frustration building.
So he will stay in third place, can't improve his score, and again, that could be vital.
And a quick look down at his skin, and maybe to his surprise, it's not that bad. He didn't look down for too long. The setters were saying it's actually
in semi-final.
I will, and yeah, hopefully we've recovered by then, because that was a lot. That was really intense, and such great work from the route setters. I just can't wait to see what they've got in store for us for the rest of the event. But yeah, up next is women's.
No one could steal the show from that man. Still emotional. Eventually he puts the flowers down, because it's time for our podium. Another medal for Do-Hyun Lee. He'll add that to his gold from previously in the season. Of course, the World Champs just hits a little differently from a World Cup. Coming every 2 years, it's an important moment and an important year as we build up to the Paris 2024 Olympics. The audience giving him a standing ovation here in the stadium. Everyone on their feet as the athletes gather at the top of the podium.